Welcome back to the show. Now we're getting into the Untouchables review. And you start with the overview. This is a 1987 American crime film directed by Brian De Palma, produced by Art Linson, and written by David Mamet. It stars Kevin Costner, Charles Martin Smith, Andy Garcia, Robert De Niro, and Sean Connery. Set in Chicago in 1930, the film follows Elliot Ness as he forms the Untouchables team to bring Al Capone to justice during the Prohibition. It had a budget of $25 million, brought in $106.2 million to the box office. Also had an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes. And this is obviously Brian De Palma. He's had an extensive career, a lot of memorable movies. And initial thoughts, I think this was a good film. How it was shot, though, I think it's something that we're going to talk about a lot. It definitely was surprising looking back at this, at how the film was shot, different techniques of it, and a great cast, honestly. When you have, I think Kevin Costner had a really good performance. De Niro was a little over the top, but he had to have an over the top, not one of his best roles, but I think it was a solid role from him. Sean Connery, obviously the very experienced actor, one who's had such an illustrious career. I thought added a lot of depth to the movie. But to you overall, what were kind of your initial thoughts?
Excuse me. Coming from a video shooting cinema / editing background, bro, this was atrocious. And I think it got saved because of the actors, but just it was atrocious, man. It was an hour and 59 minutes. It was shot terribly. I don't know if this was like I don't know where this film lined up in his career. I didn't even check. It was just like, bro, I was so upset. I couldn't even enjoy. I like Kevin Costner as an actor. Kevin Costner is.
Yeah.
I don't think he gets enough credit. He's a good actor.
Not underrated.
De Niro, I mean, he's gonna be Robert. Like, it's crazy, but like how it was shot, man, it was like it had some good sequences in some moments, but like for the majority of the film, bro, atrocious. Like, bro, yeah, man. Like, I wanted to just take my TV, and that thing weighs a lot, and chunk it outside. That's what I wanted to do.
That really is a make or break thing for you. That really is a make or break thing for you, because if it's not like, and obviously I think it should be for any viewer, but you come from a certain background of really appreciating it more and really having a lot of respect for it more, and the attention and detail. But if it's like you said, if it's not at a certain, like for you, if it's not at a certain degree of just like even just being at least average or acceptable or passable, there's just no way you can really enjoy the movie.
No, because I'm looking at it at the angle as I'm a director. It's like, whoever cut this and edited this, like, and I know I'm jumping ahead. The scene where the guy was climbing down the rope. That entire scene, how did that make it through edit? How did it? Like, I'm not even talking about the fake CGI when he was the fake green screen they used.
The green screen was insane.
He was falling. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about climbing up the road and climbing it. Bro, I'm like, bro, how did this make it? They was like, well, it's good enough. They're not gonna.
Oh no, we know. You know,
people are gonna watch this later in life, right? Like, y'all weren't even thinking about later. Like, bro, I hope this is not used. I hope this is used for what not to do in film.
Hey, this is what you should not do. That's definitely the movie. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, man.
Listeners, you can already tell. Say this is not a praiseworthy review from Savon's Corner for this one. This is good. Thumbs down for sure. And now getting into our first topic from 1 to 4 stars. What would you give it? I'm gonna go with 3. I think this had solid acting overall. I think the plot in it was good. I'm the more gracious one in this, obviously, for sure, because I mean Savon's the more technical movie critic, but I think there is great acting from Costner. I think Sean Connery had a really impressive role, and it did feel like an 80s kind of like gangster type movie in a sense, and I definitely had that symbolism in it. I just think we look at so many other mob films and it's like, oh man, this was like the Scorsese. We get so spoiled with just like how everything is like, you know, projected. Like when you look at, let's say Goodfellas just ends and this comes on, you're like, what in the world am I watching? Like you are like
Night
seeing
and
like the
day.
great, yeah, night and day, like the creme de la creme of movie editing and everything. But then this is a big drop off. But I do think the acting in it is good. But obviously the techniques of it really kind of take away from the rating. Oh, I can't.
I'll
Oh
give it a
goodness, I'm
2,
scared.
bro. A 2, bro. A 2. And it's only gonna give it a 2 because of the acting. Man, and we're gonna get down to these scenes and I'm gonna break these scenes down. There's like 6 and 7 in my head. And they're the most memorable because they were terrible.
Different twists on most memorable scenes.
Absolutely. But definitely too, man, if it wasn't for the acting, and I do agree with you with Robert De Niro was over the top a little bit. And I didn't think he was a good Capone.
Yeah, this was not. It's actually maybe one of my least favorite Robert De Niro
Yeah,
roles ever. Honestly,
absolutely. I think Hardy was the best Al Capone. He was the
yes.
best Al Capone to me. And he did it later in his life. But well, he betrayed him later in Capone's life. So yeah, man. It was if it wasn't for Costner and yeah, man, it's 2. I'm just gonna leave it alone. I'm not gonna rip it. I'm not trying to rip it because a lot of people do get in the comments and people be like, we like the Untouchables.
There are people
I
there. Yeah,
like
there are people who view this as a classic. There are people who view this
I
as a classic
like
movie.
the Crustables, the Encrustables, the PB and J sandwiches. What are you talking
Hey,
about? I
those are
like those.
underrated. Those are underrated,
Oh,
man. Those are under.
delicioso.
Boy, boy. On some night shifts, I had them. Man, it get me through it,
Man,
bro. It get me through
what? They hit the
it.
back of your throat. It's over with, man.
And now kind of getting into it's a favorite character. I did like Elliot Ness's character, played by Kevin Costner. I think he was obviously the most like dedicated to the role, to the craft of the
Yeah.
movie. Like from the jump, he wanted to see, man, how do we take down Capone? He knows that his family is being compromised in a sense. He has to look out for them. He has to make sure they're good. But he really was one of those cops. Even though he did have a family, I think he was married to the job in a sense. To really kind of like almost be lasered in on a guy like Capone, who was like the most
Hmm.
notorious gangster and criminal during that time. And I think overall he really did have the dedication and just kind of the determination to really be like, okay, how do we go through the ins and outs? How do I learn the craft? How do I learn to be a detective and go through all
Hmm.
the loopholes to do this and to bring him down? I think he was able to do that really well. To you overall, who was your favorite character in
Yeah.
one of your least liked films?
Absolutely. Elliot Ness. Just the get back. I love the tenacity. Like he wanted to do the right thing, but he was like, you know what? I'm gonna choose violence. And then he has one of the best one liners, I think, in cinema history. And we'll get to that. Like, yeah, it was crazy. I love that.
Mhm.
But yeah, Ellie and Ness, the amount of concentration, the attention to details, like being aware of things, like it was crazy. Like he was the best character. And then Sean Connery, Jim Malone, especially when it was interrogating. He used I think he was a dead corpse. He shot it anyways. I was like, yo, buddy's mad crazy. But he already dead. Use it as he's alive. Hey, bro, what is going on? But nah, it worked though. So yeah,
It did
I
work,
it definitely
definitely.
did. That boy started
Um,
telling everything. What do you want to know? I'll tell ya. Oh my
oh my
goodness.
goodness. And now getting to most memorable scenes, I had a kind word and a gun. Also, Malone's methods. Also the I want him dead scene. You got nothing. Nitty's fall, the infamous Nitty's fall. Which, oh my goodness, bro, I want you to do a full analysis on that scene. And then here ended the lesson. To you overall, what were kind of some of the memorable scenes in this one?
So the first one that comes, okay, I'm gonna give you the best one. Like not because it was bad. The
Mhm.
scene where they were eating dinner and he was talking about the baseball bat and
Oh
he's
goodness.
walking around. I'm saying, oh, he's about to whack, so he about to hit somebody in the head. I'm just trying to figure out one. And as soon as he did it, I mean, like, yo, I was like, that's the best scene because everybody was looking behind themselves and try to like make sure they look it just because he tried to hit me with the bat. And then Buddy,
Yeah, some of those like like
I
you
want to
cannot stay,
know.
you cannot stay for
Yeah, he was
it.
like, wait, they kept switching the cigar hand around, like make sure Buddy ain't,
Like, all right, what's
because
going
Capone crazy, you know. And I wonder if he had it in his head he's gonna hit him the entire time,
on?
or because he looked away and he was like, yeah, yeah, same team, same team. And he looked, he's like, you turned away? All right. Bow. But no, I'm gonna break this scene down right here. I'm at the station when the lady was trying to put the stroller. That entire scene
Oh my goodness.
made my booty itch. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Holy garbanzo beans. Like, bruh, that scene really
Oh
irked
my
me.
goodness, bro.
The close-ups, the trying to bring in how, like, do I need to help her? Should I help her? What's like, bro, that scene was way too long. Way, way too long. The shot angles were terrible. Like, bro, it was just the dialogue was terrible. Oh my goodness, bro. That whole scene was atrocious.
That's the worst scene to you
Atrocious.
overall.
One of them. Oh
Yeah, one of them.
no. When he when the dude was climbing down, how they cut it, you can tell like they made it seem like he was climbing up, but he was still climbing down. How they cut
Yes,
it, it
Nitty's.
was,
I need Nitty's fault. We gotta talk about Nitty's fault.
bro. Go.
Then when he was falling,
Yeah, tell me your analysis on that scene, bro. Because I was that it made me itch too. It
bro,
really did.
it was so it wasn't even like they weren't even trying to make you believe that it was actually happening. That's the part of it. It's like some people like try to trick you to make, oh yeah, this actually happened, but they didn't even show any suspense, any no worthy. They were just like, yep, we're letting it fly. We're letting that clip fly. Whoever sees it 30 years from now sees it.
Whatever. We know we get an 80% on
They were
Rotten
looking by
Tomatoes.
80%. Yeah, they won't care. Rotten Tomatoes won't care.
Man, just that entire scene, the leading up, like even in the courtroom. No, another scene, bro. When the ending, he was like, you get like the lean in to both
Mhm.
Kevin Costner and the Niro.
Yeah.
Terrible. Did you see the lean in, the cut, the
Yes.
edit,
Yes.
bro? Who allowed this to happen? That was the worst cut in ever.
Oh
Like,
my
it's
goodness.
not believable. What do you say? What do you say? Like that, bro. It could have been shot so much better,
Yeah.
so much better. Ah, man. And then we get the one of the best one-liners, and yeah, but yeah, man. Yeah, this wasn't good.
Yeah. Did not meet the standards. Did not meet the standards. And now getting into most memorable quotes. I had people are going to drink. You know that. I know that. Also, first rule of law enforcement: make sure when your shift is over, you go home alive. You can't get further with a kind word and a gun than you can with just a kind word.
Mm-mm.
Also, they pull a knife, you pull a gun. He sends one of yours to the hospital. You send one of his to the morgue. Also, from Capone, like a lot of things in life, we laugh because it's funny and we laugh because it's true. If you're afraid of getting a rotten apple, don't go to the barrel, get it off the tree.
That's good.
And then finally, I'll have a drink from Elliot. To you overall, what were some of your memorable quotes?
All of those. And then when Sean Connery's character blew Buddy head off, he was already dead. He was like, "I don't like your methods." Well, you're not from Detroit or something like that. He said, or Chicago. He said, you're not from Chicago. Then they walked off. They looked at each other, walked off. I thought that was cold line. And then when he threw Buddy off he was like, yeah, your buddy squealed like a pig. And he threw him off the, he threw him off the roof. Did it sound something like that? One of the best one-liners in cinema
Oh
history,
yeah,
bro.
that's up there.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
up there.
Did it sound something like that, bro? That's so cold. Now I know you're
For
saying,
for a movie that wasn't shot well, some of those lines reeled you back in.
bro, some scenes had terrible dialogue, but most of it had good dialogue, and the actors did a great job and just bringing it out a little and making it better. But like it had some nice one liners in here for sure. It
Oh, for
had some.
sure.
You said what about 10? I think 10
Yeah,
memorable quotes.
yeah.
Like if a good movie is gonna have about 10 memorable quotes. That means the writing was good. So let's separate. We're not saying the writing was bad. We're not saying the
Mm.
actors were bad. We're saying some of the sequences that were shot were terrible. And
Yeah.
again, we understand it was in the 80s, but film school has been around for years,
For
ladies and
years.
gentlemen.
Yeah.
We seen the difference between when Martin Scorsese first shot his first film, and I think it was not Taxi Driver. It was Taxi Driver.
I think it was.
His first film was Taxi Driver. You can
Yeah.
tell it was the bait. No, it wasn't.
Let me do some research.
Yeah,
Some full scope
you
research
can
about
tell the difference between him starting off, but it was still shot per diem to what you learn in film school. This was not shot. Like it has certain like the close-ups, the jump cuts or whatever. Like obviously that's per diem to film school, but some of this stuff like to bring out, because again, if you shoot it well and use scenery, it adds to the scene and adds to the dialogue, the dialogue of the scene. Some of the close-up shots, I'm like you know, like Kevin Costner's close-up shots were terrible. Like it was just a lot, bro. The jump cuts didn't sequence well. Like obviously, this is what a jump cut is. If you don't know what a jump cut is, it's when you don't have a transition within multiple shots. It's just a shot going to a shot going to a shot without transitions. So if you watch this film, it was him going to it was his face to the gun or to the watch and to the gun. That's a jump cut going boom boom boom. Them jump cuts was terrible because the angle they use or the way where they put it at in the scene. Like it's a lot. We'll be here a long time if I try to explain to you, but I'm trying to talk until Wellington finds out for us because we're still.
Sorry. It's called I Call First.
Yes.
It was in 1967, the black and white film. I Call First. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, did we review that or talk about that?
We got to. No, we got to, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we watched that. We watched one of his first films in film school in my film classes. And then we learned about Tarantino's shooting style. We learned so much. And watching these films, and I still to this day hate shaky cameras. And I know it's a shooting style that a lot of TV shows, and it's a style in film. You use it for a reason, but I never liked the shaky camera. I never liked, and some big films use shaky, like Mission Impossible use shaky camera style. Like it's known in film, but I just never liked it. But that's me getting on my high horse because I'm not shooting film. I'm not a director, but it's okay though. That's not my calling. I wish it was. Man, we shot short films in college. We did a bunch of stuff, man. And yeah, we studied Tarantino the most because Tarantino's shooting style it's incredible.
Speaking of Tarantino, Destiny, she's been asking me to movies I would recommend, and she recently just watched Jackie Brown for the first time. She was blown away. I said, bruh, I wish I could go back. She was blown away.
We just talked about this, experiencing something for the first time again.
Bro. My goodness. Yeah. And I do want to say this. We had a listener, because man, they were loving when we on YouTube dissecting Heat, Town of the Departed.
Yeah.
And one guy who commented from Nigeria, he said, yo, this is the first, I'm gonna watch all these three for the first time, never seen one. I mean, if you could experience any of those one films for the first time, man, that's gonna be a great feeling.
Absolutely. Yeah, we put it in the comment section. Like what film or movie or even show you wish you can rewatch for the first time again.
Absolutely.
That's yeah, man. It's yeah. Woo! I wish I could rewatch Heat again. Ooh, we talked about that.
It's got me thinking about all the ones I could experience for the first time, bro. For sure, bro.
Goodness. Like
I mean, for me, like when I first watched Taxi Driver, that was an experience.
Shot deliciously,
yes.
Especially the mirror scene, right angle, right. Like it's different. Okay?
That's why this movie is disappointing Savon so much because we reviewed so many greatly shot films, like some of the best in the world, and bro,
oh my goodness,
this one, Nitty's fault. All I gotta say is Nitty's fault.
The green screen killed me, bro.
The green Wisconsin. I'm
Ah,
just thinking,
fake
I'm just thinking
clouds.
all of them with their cigars, in the room watching that, like, yeah, we'll let it slide.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a good scene, brother.
And now getting to what did you like the most about the storyline? To me, watching Elliot Ness's kind of cat and mouse approach to the whole breakdown of I mean the bringing in of Capone, trying to take him down, bring him to justice. I thought that was definitely what made the movie more intriguing, because I think Elliot had just so much conviction and so much
Mhm.
obsessiveness about Capone and what he did, and the wrong, the kind of the unjust nature of his actions, and kind of he was just focused dead set on him the entire movie. To you, kind of what did you like the most about the storyline?
I think they had a different depiction of Al Capone. Like, it's so many movies on Al Capone, or so many like movies that Al Capone's character or his character or what he did was in. That I feel like for the we did get a different side of the character,
Yes.
and I believe it's because of De Niro and what he felt like would bring Al Capone out. I do kind of like the way he did it because it was never done before. We always get, Al Capone was just like crazy, crazy, but
Mm.
this one he was more loud. He's more obnoxious, and most of the time he didn't talk. Like in most movies, in depiction, Al Capone was short and sweet. He didn't have the outbursts like that and crazy. So like we got a different depiction. But I think the storyline, I wanted to say that, just throw that out. But the storyline, I definitely like how they zeroed in on an unsung hero who was willing to sacrifice everything to get the guy. Because every law enforcement or detective has the guy they want to bring down.
Oh, for sure.
Like most wanted, like everybody has the big fish as they call it. So I
Mm.
love how he was able to get the big fish. But basically, this is not based on a true story, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
It's not based on a true story. I hope y'all know that. This Al Capone did not go down like this. That man was in Florida, out his head, shooting everybody. that, hey, but he was like, "Hey man, Hardy did such a great job." He's like, "Bro, I know who you is, bro. I'm disgusted." It started blasting him again. It's crazy. That's the real Al Capone. Did
Oh
not
man.
say much. Was all in action.
Bro.
Yeah, yeah, man.
Have we ever
And
reviewed Scarface?
I
I
think
think
we
we have.
have. I
Yeah, I
think
think
we
we have.
have.
Yeah.
You gotta look in the archives
Yeah, I got
because
to look in
you
the
you was
archives for
like,
that
I
one.
know all the movies.
I was just
We
thinking back to it because I
Yeah.
believe Brian De Palma made Scarface, um, but yeah, that's definitely what we got. I got to look back to see. I think you did talk about like the coke scene. Yeah, actually, I thought
Yeah, we
yeah, he had
did.
all
We
that.
did. We
Yeah, we
did. We
did.
did. Wild scene.
Wild
But that
scene.
was shot beautifully.
Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely,
That was shot beautifully. It was long,
definitely.
but it was shot beautifully for
Oh
sure.
yeah. And now getting to our last topic, 10 years from now, do you still think this will be watchable and intriguing? Um, and and, and again, like this is one where we have mentioned it all depends. It all depends on the viewers, the viewers' approach to certain things. Like when it comes to, sorry, that was me. I accidentally hit
Oh,
my
I'm
mic.
making sure. I was like, wait, what's this sound?
Sorry, sorry, that was.
What's going on?
I think it all comes down to the viewer. Like when we look at when you are like a film expert, kind of come from a certain cloth of watching, studying films, being able to looking at this one, you're not going to enjoy it at all. But I
Hmm.
think when you're into good acting and kind of certain dialogue, certain memorable quotes, this does have it for you. So it's a mixed bag, I think for sure, because some people do like herald this movie a certain way, and other people are like, why is this heralded a certain way when it's shot so poorly? You know what I mean? So it is that 50-50 split of yes and no. I really think this one does go to the middle of 50-50 of like some will say yes, others will say
Yeah,
no. To you, kind of like
absolutely.
how do you think this will be viewed another decade?
Yeah, definitely 50-50 because some people don't care about how it was shot. They just care about the acting and the monologue and the dialogue. But I think if not just from a film standpoint, how it's shot, how it brings out the scene, like that matters. That
Oh, for
that
sure.
makes the difference between a great film and like a mediocre or good film. And we always go back to Inglorious Bastards. That opening scene was shot so beautifully, and it cut. It was like smooth. Everything was there for it to be one of the best opening scenes in film history.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're not being biased. We watch every movie and we dissect it exactly the same,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a big part for us, especially me. Like, it has to be shot well. It has to be shot well, but it's going to be 50-50. A lot of people love, I was looking at like reviews. I absolutely love this
Someone said
film.
five out of five.
De
Five out of
Niro did
five.
a great job. He was one of the best Al Capones. You need to watch Tom Hardy's Al Capone.
Yeah, man.
Buddy was flaming. Like, oh my, yeah, man. Yeah.
Look, that is man. That's just how it goes. That's just how it goes down here, man. We dissect everything. We got to dissect everything for sure. I know some people will say this is 10 out of 10
Which is
classic.
wild.
I like the film. I do like the film, but I think there were parts of it. Obviously, as Savon is saying, he brings in that perspective of like, bro, like how it is shot, just the full aura of the movie. I think when you really are a cinema lover, there are gonna be parts of it that you're like, oh.
I did it! Yeah! I've been waiting this whole episode for that.
At a Batman cartoon Saturday morning. Pow.
Bro, I've been waiting for him to do that, and he waited to the last second to do it. I appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely. Well, that wraps it up for today. I'm your host, Wonder Burns. I'm my counterpart, Savon Morris. This has been Full Scope. See you later.